Hello, Tenderfoot Chief here, with an early access game called Airships Conquer the Skies. It's been an early access since February 2015, which I know is a good couple of years, but they have been adding to it and ironing out bugs and things like that. And it's not too expensive, so I thought I'd give it a try. I've also seen quite a few good playthroughs on this, and it looked very interesting. It's a strategy game by David Stark, and so I thought I'd give it a go. So there's a few different playthrough modes on this game. I would strongly recommend starting off with the tutorial. It's quite fiddly. It's sort of quite a tinkerer's game, this game actually. So it's best to have a look through the tutorial first of all. There's also missions here which you can go through, and it's kind of like essentially just different scenarios you can put yourself through, which they might be quite good fun to do as well. But you could also create a mission there. There's a multiplayer which is online, but I haven't tried too much about that because it is early access and it is a little buggy, this game, unfortunately, but it is getting better as it goes on. And there's Conquest, which is what we're going to be playing through today. So I'm going to start a new game. And here we have, I have actually set up a, what's called a, this is here, it says party per chevron sable and argent, a crown argent in a chief and scale sable below. It seems a little bit more complex than it is, but basically it gives you a bonus, you see. So you've got an arms, you can edit your coat of arms if you like. So this skill will give me means that conquered cities have no pacification period. So I'm actually going to edit mine, and we'll show you, start off with the basic one here. So here you've got different things like an anvil. So steel armor absorbs 50% more damage. It's pretty good, because you have different kinds of ships you can use in this game, which I'll go into a little bit later. Excuse me. But essentially, there's different sort of things you can, bonuses you can get from these coats of arms. So you can get 30% HP for tracked land ships, which is something I'll go into a bit more later on. You've got crowns, which is, I quite like this one. Conquered cities have no pacification period. Dragon riders, which will give you a bonus of actually having a certain unit, which is obviously the dragon riders. And then you've got an eagle. All cannons are twice as accurate. And you can go through all of these if you want at your own leisure. I won't go through all of them just now. I think what I'm going to go for though, I'm going to stick with the crown. And I might, down here you can change the colour. I quite like the blue on the white background. And here you can change the style that you want. The quarterly, the border. Oh, let's have a look here. I quite like the look of this one. Oh, the scarp looks quite nice. I might go with the scarp. And then here, it doesn't give you an extra bonus, but it gives you just extra detail. So, for example, if you wanted to put the scales there, or you could put tower, looks quite good. So you've got the crown and the tower, kind of, quite interesting. So I think we'll stick with that one. Okay. So yeah, we'll go there. We'll go back. So we've got this here now, and it's same thing again because we've got the crown. Conquered cities have no pacification period. Having trouble speaking. You can also name your first city, which we'll see, which will make more sense in a moment. So I'm going to change mine to Tenderville, being the fact that I am Tenderfoot Chief. Here you've got different size of actual maps. Because there are three different play screens you can use. I'll go through those again in a moment. And you can go for easy, medium, or hard. Now, I haven't actually managed to beat this game yet because it is quite difficult. It's quite a bit to learn. So I think I'm going to go for medium first of all. And here you've got display hints, okay, which I'll leave on so we can read through and give you a bit more of an idea of what we're going to be going through here today. So without further ado, let's get started. So here is the loading screen. This can take a little while to sort of boot up. So maybe I'll just skip this part until we actually get into the game. Okay, so as I was saying a moment ago, there are three different play screens here. So here we have the sort of battle map, if you like, the kind of, well, not battle map, sorry, this is the strategy map. It shows you the different, every one I've played has been unique, so I think it generates a new one each time. They seem to be random. I haven't seen too many similar strategy maps whilst either playing or watching this myself. And we're starting here at Tenderville. At the moment you can see the game is paused, okay, which is how you want to start off. Okay, so let's read through here quickly. So Tenderville is your home city. This basically is your base of operations. You can see you've got the flag at the top here, and it says here each, which is the coat of arms we just made. Each city you conquer gives you an additional income, but also must be defended. So we need to defend this city as well as just sort of owning it, if you like. Now, so we click OK. And then it says here, this is your starting fleet, and you can see the ships within it on the panel on the right. So if I click on here, it'll come up here, you see. So at the moment, I've got something called a circumfix. I'm not really sure what that is. And it costs 655. Each time you get a different random unit when you start, which is quite cool. And they never seem to be the same. So that's another thing I really like about this game. It is, a lot of the units you'll find are very unique and very different because there are so many different sort of designs you can do, which I'll show you a bit more in a minute of what we can do. So, and you can click on individual ships and select and deselect them so you can group them together and pull them apart. That's a little tricky, but it does work. So here we go. So to build up your fleet, you may want to construct another airship. Click on your home city, then choose build ship. Select a ship within your budget. Name it and click OK. So construction will begin. And once complete, your new ship will join the fleet. So you can essentially, if you click OK, it's going to tell you here about the initiating commands and different speeds. You've got pause, play, fast, and then super fast. So, and as the more time passes up here, you have money. As more time passes, obviously, you will earn more money. So if you go fast, more cash, but you'll have to be careful as everybody else on the map will get more cash and they may expand, and you have to be a little careful with that. Okay, so now it's time to scout your first city, your first conquest, sorry. Send a spy to this nearby city by clicking on it and choosing Send Spy. After a bit of time spent insinuating, I think that might be supposed to be insituating himself, the spy will start relaying information about the city. So over here, we'll do that right now. If we click here, we can send a spy. It costs 100. Here, as you can see up here, that's minus 100 from here, and that's basically the little tips, and that's to get you started. Now, here you have some different options. As I was saying, there's three different maps to kind of not maps, three different screens, if you will. So you can build a ship, build a land ship, or you can build defenses. I'll go more into the defenses at the moment. First of all, we're not going to build a ship. You can do that quite easily. If you go here, you get different ones. All HMS, There's different, like the HMS Acrid Stench. I'm not really sure why it's called that. Different ones do different kind of tasks, if you like. We're not going to do that though. What we're going to do is we're going to design a ship. So. This is the second screen I was going to take you through here. So this is kind of the construction screen. You can design both air and land ships, I believe, here. So there's different parts that you need to sort of be aware of when doing this. You've got the command and crew. So I think we're going to need some kind of little interceptors, fast-moving ships that can quickly zip across the strategy map to intercept people who may be attacking, invading, and also that aren't too expensive to sort of, so they don't cripple our sort of very small empire, if you like, straight away. So you have different options here. You can have, I think we're going to start with the cockpit though. This cockpit is small. It doesn't give you much kind of, because each ship has to have a certain amount of people within it to give orders. So if you have a cockpit, it's a little bit slower to give orders, but it does mean it can be lighter and faster. So it could take there could be a few seconds delay between giving one order, having to wait to give the next, but this will be fine for now. So we've put put the cockpit in. We're going to need also a berth. So let's put the berth maybe here like this, because that gives us crew. It gives us how many? 3 air sailors to help man and supply the ship. So at the minute we've kind of got a captain and three men within it. So now we've done the command and crew. We're going to need some lift. That's the next thing. Because you see up here you've got different checklist to do. The ship is too heavy to fly here, so this will give us some lift. Now you have different suspendium chambers. Suspendium is the stuff, it sounds a bit sort of, cheesy, but it's basically the stuff that keeps your ship afloat. So you can have a large suspendium chamber like so, and it will give you plenty of lift, but it needs to have, room above it for some reason here. You can have these large kind of like blimp-esque style kind of suspendium chambers, but it's probably best not to put them directly on top because they can explode quite easily. You could put some struts down, but then you would probably still need some kind of suspendium chambers inside because they are easily destroyed. But for now, because these are going to be kind of little interceptors, I think it might be an idea to put a small one on like this. Okay, maybe we'll put another one back here. Okay, so, or in front of the ship there. So that'll get us started. Now, these two parts are red because they're not actually connected up right now. So we can put some structural corridors in, like so. Now everything's linked up. But still, we have no coal, no propulsion, propulsion, and we don't have any supply hatches, and also we don't have any guns or ammunition, so there's still quite a bit left to do. So let's go for resources next, because we're going to need some coal. So we'll need a coal store. Okay, and we'll need some ammunition. Where's the ammunition? We've got a small ammo store, or there's a standard ammo store, so maybe put a standard ammo store here, like so. It's only 260 at the moment. We've got 888 dollars, I assume. So we can. It is a little heavy though. Here you have the service ceiling. That shows you how high your ship can fly, and it can be quite important. You have a certain amount of lift generated by the suspendium chambers that can give you a certain amount of height. So at the moment we still need some propulsion. So let's do that next. Propulsion. You have varying different types you can use here. Sails are not very fast here, but they also need a bit more crew, I believe. If you have a propeller, you can have a small propeller which is lighter than a normal propeller, but it obviously doesn't give you as much push. But we want this to be fast. We're going to put like a normal standard propeller on there, like so. Okay. It's saying the ship has insufficient crew. Okay, so maybe what we'll do is, I wonder if we can do that for now. And that's not giving us. Maybe we should move this to here. Get rid of that. Move this to here, like so. We still have insufficient crew. So let's have a think about this. So first of all, let's go to resources, I believe. It's also saying underneath we have supply hatches. You must remember to put some supply hatches in. So there we go. We've got supply hatch now. Put that there for now. Okay, now we need more crew. So let's have a look here. Crew, command and crew. Let's put another berth in, say here maybe. And then I wonder if it might be worthwhile. Let's have a look at our service ceiling. Service ceiling's still okay. Maybe we should take these out and move this. Yeah, but then maybe we should just have a normal size. Let's have a look here. Lift. How big is that one? It's still a little bigger. We'll see. We'll leave that there for now. Okay, now we want to put some weapons on the front. Now, you have a lot of different kinds of weapons. You can have bombers, you can have cannons, you can have you have like flat guns or anti kind of air gun sort of things going on and varied things. You've also got more exciting things like rams, saw blades. You've got a ventricle turret, and I'm not really sure what that does, but I think that's a certain field of fire. And you've got kind of quite a good selection here at the moment. But I think what we're going to do first of all, pop a cannon on there. Boom. Okay. Now that's also messed with our service ceiling. If we put another one on, like so, let's see how. Well, it's a little expensive, but it's not too bad. Put another one on like that. So we've got 2 cannons so far. Now, let's have a little play around with this. So if I put, instead of, if I put boom, boom, and then I put this one here like this, then maybe I can squeeze in some smaller guns underneath to give it a bit of kind of variation in firepower, if you like. So I do know that there are some, here we go, rifles. They're light, they're cheap, but they're not going to get supplied from there. So let's get rid of that one then. That's still not bad. So let's have a look. The cost is a little expensive, but it's not too bad. Supply is okay. Maintenance is a little high, but it's still not too bad. The weight is, service ceiling's pretty good. Speed is 23. I'm not really sure how good that is. Turning time is 0.7 seconds, which is good. And let's have a look. What else is air sailors? No, so it's got a command cooldown of 10 seconds, which is a little slow, actually. Now, that could be a little tricky. How many sailors do we have? Do we have enough? Minimum crew 6. Recommended crew, it's 12. I think we have 6 at the moment. So I think we're going to have to leave that as it is and see if this works. It's always quite interesting to see if these kind of things will actually work. It's half the fun. So now you go into the armor section here. You've got wooden wall, which I think is what we have. Sorry, we have wooden armor, which has a little bit of weight, it's kind of minimum hit points. Well, sort of minimum, but not great hit points, and it's got 1 blast damage and 3 piercing damage. Now you've got different steel or brick armor here. So if we look at the steel wall here, its weight is lighter, but its blast damage and its piercing damage is better, but its hit points are lower. But I think I'm going to take that, and that gives us a slightly larger service ceiling, I believe, because it's lighter. Now, if you want to, you can paint it a certain color. Maybe we could paint it red. Let's fill it in with red. No, it's not seeming to want to work. Never mind, we'll leave that. And then you could put decoration. This is quite cool. So, for example, you could put a small crest there, so people know who's coming. And then you have this thing here, which is a mouth, which is always quite good fun. You can even put an eye on it if you want to. So you can put an eye back here. So there we have. Now we can save this design. Okay, so it's called the unhealthy for some reason at the moment. I'm not really sure why it's called that. I'm going to call it, abbreviation, I'm going to call it the Tenderfoot Interceptor, Mark 1, or the Timmy for short. We'll save that. Okay, and then I think we'll build that as well. So there we go, that's building now. So now I've shown you 2 of the different map styles. There is a third map style which I'll show you in a moment, but as you can see here, I've sent a spy off here. I've started construction of another ship here. We have one already here. When the spy actually finishes his infiltration, we can have a look and see what kind of size of army and things he has. But this is the third. Oh, can't do that just yet. I know we can do. Sorry, this is the third screen that you'll see, and it's called the defenses screen. It will show you here what you have in your city for defenses, or if you have a spy in another person's city, what defenses they have. So at the moment, you can see this here, which is the ship I've been given. Well, that looks pretty good actually. It's got 3 cannons on the front. It's some of the things that I missed out with this interceptor because I wanted it to be light and fast and kind of maneuverable, but still kind of a bit cheap and affordable. They've got some extra bonuses here, though. Things like this is like it's called like a water point or something like that. And it basically, if you catch on fire, the guys will run out around your ship, and they will put it out. I think this is actually also a bridge here. They have, I think this is an ammo chamber here, and they've got the suspendium here, and they have their coal with the propeller at the back. So that's quite interesting. You can get further, this might be a repair bay here actually, because one of these, or this could be crew quarters. It's a larger one from the berths I put on. But you can get things like medical bays, repair bays, and things like that. If you wanted to make a really large ship, or if you wanted to make a building like this. Now this is the second kind of unit that I'm going to show you today. And if we get a chance, I'll show you the third. But these are the defense buildings. Now, here you have essentially, I can move this around. I'll move up here a bit. So this one here is like an anti-air, which is pretty obvious. It's got its sort of water point here for putting out fires. I believe this is a kind of infantry to help defend. You've got crew quarters here and a few other bits dotted around, which I'm not 100% exactly what they are. Now this one looks a bit more heavy duty. Same, you've got the like here you have the anti-aircraft here, but it's got cannons on the front and on the back, and it looks like it's got more substantial a more substantial kind of setup there. So I'm going to pop this one here next to that one there. Now, if we wanted to build some more defenses, we can do, but not while we're building a ship. So we're going to have to leave this and unpause it to be able to wait for the ship to finish before we can actually do that. So here, just want to show you this. I found this pretty cool. These are little ships way off in the distance. It's very reminiscent of sort of old school 8-bit graphic, which is why I quite like these kind of games. And there's another one here. Look, there's two actually here. There's one over here. Oh no, that's a distant suspendium rock, which I'll talk about more later. But this is another distant suspendium rock by the looks of things. These things here are the suspendium rocks that you have to be careful of as well, because they'll get in your way and they can blow up. They're essentially rocks that fly around, and yeah, they get in your way when you're attacking and defending. But they can also impede the enemy as well. So you can use it to your advantage or disadvantage. There it looks like some kind of weird flying turtle. Not really sure what that is. But yeah, so we'll leave this now. And we're surrounded here at the moment. So we're not started in the best places. It's often good to start on a nice little outcropping like this when you're kind of more easily defensible. But never mind, we'll see how we go. So let's play this now. So here we go. You can see the money starts going up here. We've infiltrated the city here, and it says your spy. I'll talk about that here. So we can now invade there as well. But what this means is because we'll pause this. Because the spy has infiltrated the city, we can now look at what kind of defenses he has. At the moment, he has this here. You've got a few options that you can do with this as well, which is quite good. You can have a look what they have. Like here, he's got a defense building here. Okay, which is looks fairly substantial, but nothing too major. Now, this one here, it looks like he's got 2 cannons or some kind of rifles along the top. Now, if I had enough money, I could attempt to destroy or even bribe this ship. And the same with the other one as well, but you get percentage of success chance next to it as well. Like at the moment here, they're all 0 because I don't have enough money. But now we know he's got 1 ship and he's got 1 building here for defense. We'll leave that now, and this is actually also finished building as well. We've got a little bit more money, so maybe we will build some defenses in case we sort of run away with our fleet to go and attack, and we get attacked ourselves. So we're not going to design a building just yet because we've been through the designing process already. We're going to build a building. Here we go. So you have different styles here. We've already got quite a lot of cannons, and we've got some kind of anti-air as well. But you can see the different prices. This is one I built myself. Now I called this the the anti-air Mark 1, purely because I was playing a game and you get different sort of events that happen within your area, and one event that happened within mine was that you can actually get dragons in this game, and they are such a pain in the neck. It is unreal. So I actually built this. It's highly weaponized purely because the dragons are nearly impossible to get rid of, and I've armored it and I've put on a lot of defenses and different kind of fire safeguards, things like that. But it is incredibly expensive. But if you do get dragons, it is very hard to actually defeat them. However, we're not going to go for something so substantial here. Keep of Crows is quite good because we already have some anti-air. Sentinel is a bit too underwhelming for me. You've got this, which is just a couple of cannons and a few other bits involved. This is anti-air here. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll use this because. I'll tell you why. Because. We could pop that there. And that will give us some extra anti-air. And we've got a lot of cannons either side here as well. So I think I'll 2 anti-air. I very much doubt at this stage of the game that we'll get invaded by a land ship. So we'll do that and we'll press play and wait till we build up a bit more cash. See here, these are people attacking different things. Like you have brigands, you could have pirates, or you could have, like I said, dragons. There's different events that will pop up. See here, he's got brigands and pirates, and it looks like here he's going to go and attack these people here, and he's captured it. Oh goodness! So he's now got two provinces, which means that he'll have extra money. But luckily, I've got a buffer of these two, so hopefully they'll stay away from me and be more sort of have their time taken up by this guy here. So I've got a bit more cash now. I'm not going to design another ship as of yet, but I am going to need something with a bit more firepower if I want to take on that army. I wonder what this is. Looks like a boarding ship of some kind, this one here. HMS Tragedy. Oh goodness. I don't know if I want another. Maybe I could go in with another Timmy. Let's see. See if Timmy can do it. Let's just build this. We'll go okay. Now let's play it again. And so here we go. It's building. It shouldn't take too much longer. We're actually getting 50 a turn now, which is pretty good. Now, let's see what we can do with these units here. So have one last little look in here. See what he's got. He's got a land ship. He does actually have a land ship now, which doesn't look like it's anything too. But I can try and destroy that. I've got a 9% chance of doing so, but it's probably quite a lot of money with a very low success rate. So I'm not going to be worried too much about that. If I try and keep my distance and try and draw his guys out a little, I think I can do it. Let's build one more ship for good measure, and then we'll go. And what should we use? Don't like many of these ships. This looks like a kind of like a landing ship to me. What's this? Grenades? Oh no, it's a grenade ship. And are these? That's a repair bay there, which I was talking about earlier. Maybe we'll try that, and we can move in. That looks good. Okay, HMS Multi-Matrix. So we've got the Tenderfoots, and we'll have a Multi-Matrix in no time at all, by the looks of things. While that's loading, so one quick last little look. He still seems to have the same. So here we go. We're going to invade, and let's hope we don't get completely crushed. Nobody else is moving to invade us as well, which is a good sign. So here we go. This is the battle screen we're going to be on here. So he's moved up here, his unit here, to sort of attack me here. So what I'm going to do, so I'm going to put my 2 Timmies against his whatever this is, and a point in case is not a very good idea to stack your ships on top of each other, purely because if one of them crashes and falls out of the sky, it can then have a cascade effect and destroy all of your ships, like bomb, 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 and you can't move them out. They all get stuck and end up getting caught up in rocks and things like this, and it can be an absolute nightmare. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll use this guy, move him up straight away. First thing, we're going to move him, bop, and we'll try and destroy him there, and we'll move this guy like We'll leave him there quickly. We'll move him quickly underneath this bit of rock so he doesn't get destroyed, hopefully, if this falls out. Okay, let's start. Here we go. Now, if we go like this, you can press M and move him back like this. Now, he's been hit quite hard already, so that could mean if we move these back here, we can move, and you can also flip your units like this as well, which is pretty good. So I'm going to move this guy as well back here, and hopefully he'll be able to do some damage there. Now, let's move and flip these two here so we can move them into our range of fire. Now this one's caught on fire, which is brilliant. So we need to move him a little closer though, like so. Oh no, that's gone. So let's not get him too close in case we explode. Now let's pause this quickly. Pause. So far, this one looks like it's about to drop on top of this one, which is not good. So I'm going to move him quickly if I can out the way here. Now, these two have done quite a good job taking this one out, and this one's gone. Now, if I move this guy along here and I flip him and I move him up here, he'll be shooting directly into this, and then I'll try and move him round the back because there's only one cannon round the back. Now, these two, I'm going to move them up to here and then all the way up over the top of these if I can. Let's have a look, see if I can do that. Yeah, it won't let me do that. Okay, I'm going to move them all the way up to the top over these and back down the bottom here and see if I can take him from the bottom. So let's play this and see what happens. He's moved. Now he's still actually active. He's not moved where I told him to move, so I'm going to move him back like this a little bit. And I'm going to move this guy up here, straight up. And these two, they're going to move round the back over here and drop down here. So this one's getting attacked by the main defenses here still. And now I'm going to try and pop this guy over the top of him. Oh, will he make it into... No, he's not going to do that. Right, so let's move this guy up here to meet him. Now this one, I'll move him down there. Now he's got caught on this suspendium rock, which is... there we go, we've got him out. Good. Now this could get a little tricky. Let's try and move him up there. Let's keep them away from each other. Now these two, I'm going to move them right down here so we can get right on top of him. And this guy is going to have to charge straight up the center. Oh, this guy's taking a bit of a battering. He's trying to move out the way, so I'm going to move and flip him round the back here, so out the way of his guns, hopefully. Oh no, he's crashing into me. Oh, but he didn't quite manage to make it. That's good. So I'm still blasting him. Something is on fire. Oh no, my Timmies are on fire. Let's move him out the way. No, Timmy, no. Okay, let's move up here. Try and separate them out a little bit. They seem to be stuck to each other, which is not good, because if one of them if that explodes, I'm going to move him on top of that if I can. Now let's move this straight along here to here. Now this one is going to die. I'm pretty sure it's just gone. So it's not going too badly, but it's not going great either. So yeah, that one's gone. Now, oh, we got a victory. Awesome. Woo. We managed to do it. The Timmies didn't do too badly. Timmy one's got no crew quarters, but the other three survived. We lost that Timmy. Okay, so let's pause this now so we can have a look, see what we've done. Having made and consolidated your first conquest, you are now ready to continue expanding. Capture city after city, fortify your conquests, and build up your fleet. Soon you will have united the world under your banner. Well, we've got one city. Let's take it one step at a time, shall we? So that's quite interesting. Now, we don't have any takeover time. Because of our crest, we don't actually have any takeover time, which is really good because it means we're already earning 49, which has boosted our income quite substantially. Now, if you click on these guys here, you can actually repair them, refit them, or you can scrap them. So if I scrap this, I get 73, but I don't need to do that, which is pretty good, really. We lost one Timmy. That's say I think it's about 400 or so to build a Timmy, but it does mean we're gaining an extra 79. We'll make that money back very quickly. So I think for today, for the first playthrough, we'll leave this here for today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, and if you like, please like and subscribe, and I shall see you next time. Thanks. Bye bye.